Welcome to My Madness once again, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be taking a look at this Diamond Select Bruce Lee the Dragon figure. Picked this one up about a month ago now at this point, and just now getting around to doing the video so I can crack this guy open and get him in my collection. I was very excited to pick this guy up. Let's take a look at him in the box here. I love that we've got like this old school VHS case here. And you see we've got pictures of Bruce Lee on the back, a little bit of description there. Just fantastic. Bruce Lee the Dragon action figure. Then of course we crack it open. We've got this guy in here like that. Lots of reflection there, sorry guys. But you see we've got the figure there. We've got all his accessories there. Can't wait to crack this guy open, so let's go ahead and do just that. Get him cracked open and see what we've got inside. Alright, so we got him out of the package. We'll look at accessories first, and I just kind of left him in this kind of display piece here, which looks pretty cool. So of course you've got the stand down here, it says Bruce Lee the Dragon. We've got a bow staff, nunchucks. We've got nunchucks with the effects on them. Then we got a couple of smaller staffs here. I forget what you call those. And of course he comes with 2 extra sets of hands. We've got fisted hands here and hands where he's kind of doing the thwip hands thing, almost kind of like Spider-Man. Then of course we've got the hands that come on the figure, so those are the gripping hands for him holding his weapons. Now, as far as the figure itself goes, first of all, the sculpt looks amazing. They did a fantastic job. It looks great. Look at that head sculpt there. Looks amazing. Not a lot of paint on this guy, but what is there as far as like the skin tones and stuff is done very, very well. I think they did a great job on this. I think it looks really, really good. Pants look great, shoes look great, everything looks really good. The sculpt and paint are on point on this guy. I think they did a fantastic job. And now we get to the articulation. And this is where this figure has some issues, especially for a figure of Bruce Lee. I mean, this guy should be able to get into all kinds of positions, and honestly, it's a little lacking. Now we do get decent hip movement there, and then of course we've got the thigh cuts there for rotation, but we have single jointed legs. Now the knees do come up a bit. I mean, that's pretty good for single jointed, but not great. The feet are fine. You do get you know, your hinge there, you do get rotation all the way around, and you do get pivot, which is nice. So the feet are good. We've got no waist articulation whatsoever. We do have this diaphragm joint here that basically just doesn't do much. I mean, he can lean forward a little bit and he can lean back a little bit. He can't go side to side really. And he really can't turn. There's no rotation there. Also, if you notice there on the shoulders, he appears to have butterfly joints. Those don't do anything. That's just filler. Just to keep the sculpt good, which looks great, but it doesn't actually do anything. Arms come up to about there, and that's it. We do get rotation there at the bicep, and you do have a hinge and rotation at the wrist, which is fine. Now, this does have double jointed elbows, but for the life of me, I cannot get one of the joints to work. The joint that is down here, this pin joint on the forearm, does not move on either arm. No matter what I tried. I even tried heating them up, and it does not move whatsoever. So, for all intents and purposes, it's essentially single jointed elbows. And, you know, they come up to about right there. And that's it. And I'm afraid to break the figure by doing anything else to try and get the elbows to move any more than that. So that's a little disappointing. Then as far as the head goes, we do get rotation, and you know, he can look down a little bit, look up a little bit, tilt a little bit. I mean, but not much, guys, honestly. Lower torso, even with the single jointed knees, is fine. You can still get a lot of movement out of that. On the lower body, but the torso and up is just not what you would want from a Bruce Lee figure that you may want to put in all kinds of crazy poses. And that's kind of a disappointment there. So what I'm going to do is throw him up with some other figures so you can see where this guy stacks up as far as scale goes, if he's something that you might be thinking about putting in your collection. So let's go ahead and get those other figures and see what we've got. All right, so we got a few figures here just to do some comparisons. Of course, on the left, we've got Marvel Legends Shang-Chi. On the right, we've got G.I. Joe Classified's Snake Eyes, and those are both 6-inch scale figures. G.I. Joe Classified's a little bit closer to true 6-inch scale, and you can see this Bruce Lee figure kind of towers over both of them. But then when you look at some 7-inch scale figures, like at the back we've got Marvel Select, Bucky Cap, and of course DC Multiverse McFarlane, black suited Superman. He's a little bit shorter than them as well, but I think he probably fits in better with the 7-inch scale stuff, even though he's kind of in between Marvel Legends and DC Multiverse. But, this gives you an idea of, if you're looking to put him in a display with some of your collection, where he might fit in best. All right, so let's talk price here real quick. And I picked this guy up at a toy shop for $25. And that seems to be about the price you're going to find him for. I think original retail was closer to $30, $29.99, something like that. So the question is it worth it at between that $25 to $30? And as just a figure, no, it's not. And the reason is because of the articulation. The articulation is just not great, especially for a figure like Bruce Lee. It just really should be able to do more than it can. That being said, if you are a hardcore Bruce Lee fan like I am, maybe it's still worth it because it is a good looking figure. Sculpt and paint is on point. It looks amazing. You're just not going to be getting this guy into too many crazy poses, and that may be a deal breaker for you. So that's really what it's going to come down to, is whether or not you're just going to pose him on the shelf like this, maybe with a couple of weapons, maybe in a couple of basic poses that you can get him into, or whether you're going to try and do something crazy with him. If that's the case, this might not be the figure for you. So anyway, would love to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments section down below. Do you like Bruce Lee? First of all, give me a yes or no. Second, is this a figure you would pick up? And third, if you wouldn't pick it up, tell me why. Is it the articulation, or you just don't care about Bruce Lee? Would love to hear what you guys have to say. So that is it, guys. Thank you for watching, and always remember to enjoy your collection.